I played a DNA test result on the church projector instead of Vows, and my brother ran out the side door. I stood at the altar, sweating in a three-piece Armani suit, watching the love of my life walk down the aisle. She looked like an angel in vintage lace, clutching a bouquet of white lilies, but all I could feel was the cold, hard plastic of the projector remote digging into my palm. The church was packed, 300 people, thousands of dollars in flowers, and a reception waiting that cost more than my first car. They were all smiling. I was just trying not to vomit. 48 hours ago, I was the happiest man alive. We were at the rehearsal dinner. Jessica left her phone on the table when she went to the bathroom. I didn't mean to snoop, but it buzzed relentlessly. I glanced over, expecting a text from her mom or the wedding planner. Instead, I saw a message from a contact saved as, "Do not answer." It read, "He still thinks the baby is his, right? I can't lose my inheritance if he finds out about us." My vision swam. The room spun. I felt the heat rising in my neck and my vision went blurry with rage. I didn't confront her there. I didn't flip the table. I unlocked her phone. Her passcode was our anniversary, ironically, and scrolled. It wasn't a random guy. It was Kyle, my best man, my brother. I spent the next day in a fugue state. I didn't sleep. I rushed a frantic, expedited paternity test using a hair sample I grabbed from my brother's bathroom and a cheek swab from the prenatal checkup kit Jessica and I had done for genetic screening. I paid a lab tech $3,000 to turn it around in 24 hours. The email hit my inbox at 6 a.m. on the wedding day. Probability of paternity, 0%. Now, Jessica was standing in front of me, her eyes tearing up with joy. The priest cleared his throat. "David," the priest said, smiling warmly, "I believe you've prepared a special video tribute for your vows." "I have," I said, my voice surprisingly steady. I looked at Kyle, who was standing right next to me, holding the rings. He gave me a thumbs up. "I wanted everyone to see exactly what built this relationship," I announced to the pews. "Hit the lights, please." The lights dimmed. A soft acoustic song started playing. The first slide was a picture of us in college. Then, the music cut out with a jagged scratch. The screen went black. A screenshot appeared. It was the text from 2 nights ago. "He still thinks the baby is his, right?" A collective gasp rippled through the church. Jessica froze, her smile dropping instantly. "What is this?" she whispered, her face turning ashen. "David, stop it." "No, wait, it gets better," I said into the microphone. That's when the real bombshell dropped. The next slide wasn't a text. It was the PDF of the DNA results, blown up to 10 feet tall. Subject A, Kyle, is a 99.9% match. The silence was absolute. You could hear a pin drop on the carpet. "David, please," Jessica screamed, lunging for the remote. "Turn it off." I sidestepped her. "I think the groom speaks first, right? Kyle, you want to weigh in?" I turned to my right. My brother wasn't looking at me. He was looking at the exit. His face was a mask of sheer terror. I didn't." Kyle stammered. "You didn't what?" I hissed, stepping into his personal space. "You didn't sleep with my fiancé while I was paying for your rehab. You didn't let me buy a house for a child that's yours. It was a mistake." Jessica shrieked, grabbing my arm. "It happened once. We were drunk. Once." I clicked the remote again. A timeline of their texts appeared, dating back 6 months. "Looks like a pretty consistent mistake to me." My mother stood up in the front row, clutching her chest. "Kyle, is this true?" Kyle didn't answer. He dropped the rings on the floor, clink, clink, and bolted. He literally ran down the side aisle, kicking open the emergency exit door, setting off the alarm. Beep, beep, beep. The alarm blaring was the perfect soundtrack. I looked at Jessica. She was sobbing now, her mascara running down her face in black streaks. "The wedding is off," I said, my voice booming over the alarm. "The reception is cancelled. And since my name is on the vendor contracts, I've already instructed the caterers to donate the food to the homeless shelter downtown. You and my brother can figure out how to pay for the venue." I dropped the microphone. It hit the floor with a heavy thud. I walked back down the aisle alone. My dad stood up as I passed him. He didn't try to stop me. He just looked at the empty spot where Kyle had been standing and spat on the floor. I got in my car and drove to the airport. I took the honeymoon flight to Hawaii by myself. I spent 2 weeks drinking my ties and reading the frantic emails from Jessica begging for forgiveness and asking why I evicted her from my apartment. I haven't spoken to my brother since. My parents have cut him out of the will. Am I the monster for destroying them publicly, or did they get exactly the wedding they deserve?